We're back, BookTrib and Mineral Moss Media at the Westport Library Flex event, and I am sitting with Meredith Schorr, author of The Boyfriend Swap. What happens when you're dating someone that might not necessarily be someone your parents approve of, yet you have to bring them home for a family holiday? Tell me a little bit about how you came up with the idea for the book.
It's actually a funny story. I have another series of books, and the main character is a novelist. And she has having a meeting with an agent, a prospective agent, and the agent says, in the book, what else are you working on? And so a line of the book was just two women who decide to swap boyfriends for the holidays to appease difficult parents and discover they might be dating the wrong person. So I didn't think anything of it. It just came to me like any other line of dialogue. And then people read the book, an earlier version of the book, and they were like, you need to write that book. So I did, and I took it out of the other book and I gave her something else. But so I give the credit to the character, to a fictional character of my other book. She came up with the idea.
Well, it's actually kind of realistic because everybody has that one particular person. Sometimes you're dating someone, your parents have expectations for you. They know who they would like to see you with, and you don't necessarily see yourself with that. So This is a very realistic story. There's something you talk about the holidays, especially the holidays. And I think that's one of the things that I think we struggle with. Bringing someone home for the holidays, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. How does your character deal with that? Your main character?
Well, there's two main characters. It's two different women, and one of them has a very close-knit family, and she dates just one struggling artist after another. She's always bringing home, actors and musicians and artists. And her parents don't necessarily have anything against that because they, in the past, were performers in a freestyle band in the late 80s. And they gave it up to raise Robin and her brother. But they struggled, and they don't want Robin to struggle. They want her to be with somebody who's more stable, who has health insurance and a 401k. Right. And on top of that, they just think Perry is flaky, her boyfriend. They just don't like him. Or at least this is all Robin's perspective, is that she's just sick of her parents constantly trying to fix her up with CPAs and doctors, and she just wants some breathing room. And she also doesn't want to put Perry through that.
Right.
And Sydney is a different story because she works with her dad. Her dad is a named partner in a law firm, and Sydney is a junior attorney with him. And so every day, 5 days a week, 7 when you're an attorney, her professional life is under her dad's scrutiny all the time. Right. And she just wants something for herself. She's an only child, and kind of from like a society family, and she doesn't want to bring her boyfriend home because Will is another attorney who's exactly the kind of guy that her parents do want her to meet. Right. So she's the opposite of Robin. She does not want to bring home anybody that her parents are going to like because she just wants something for herself. She wants peace and quiet, and she knows that her dad will talk shop the entire time because he's a workaholic. Right. And she also is afraid that her mom will just start planning the wedding. And here's Sydney with this perfect, successful, attractive, intelligent, partner material attorney. Right. And she just doesn't want to deal with it. She doesn't even know how she feels about Will yet. They've only been dating a short time. And she's actually afraid if her parents really like him, she won't. Right. It'll be like, that'll be a major turnoff to her.
Yeah. It's like the differential between expectations and realizations.
Yes.
And, what we always think that we want isn't necessarily what we need.
Yes, exactly.
And so both characters seem to find that out by the end of the book. Well,
they realize that this perfect solution just is not perfect because there's no great plans. They never work out the way you want them to. And for Sydney, it's especially hard because she is the one who pushed it. Robin is like this gentle person who was kind of like, I don't want to lie to my parents. I don't want to bring this random dude home as my boyfriend. We'll never pull it off. But Sydney kind of talks her into it and makes her feel like it's for the best. Do you really want your parents to make fun of Perry? Don't you want like some peace for a couple of days to really enjoy Christmaka? Yeah. So she says yes, and then the four of them meet, and I'm not giving away anything that's not in there. The four of them meet, and Robin finds out that Will, Sydney's boyfriend, actually is her old neighbor. He grew up down the street, across the street, and she loved him. she was like in love with him or infatuated with him all through elementary school and junior high and high school. And her family knew about it because she talked about him all the time.
Right.
And so now she finds out, oh my God, it's that Will. And she has to bring him home and pretend that he's her boyfriend, knowing that her parents are going to be like, you're finally dating Will after all these years. It's fate. It's 10 years. Oh my God. So that's a little awkward for her because Will doesn't know that she crushed on him. And now she has to play this off. And Sydney's whole idea is that her dad is going to be like, D-list actor, nice to meet you, and he's just going to go away. And her mom will just assume that it's casual. And her family like falls in love with Perry. They love him and they want to hang out with him all the time. And Sydney is like, what is going on here? You were supposed to leave me alone. You weren't supposed to like him because he's not marriage material, and you know. So it's funny, but they both learn a lot of lessons about themselves and who really is right for them. There's a lot of character development. So it's humor, and there's some romance, but there's also a big character arc for both of them.
Yeah, this is actually like the lessons you learn in your 20s.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, in your 20s, you're like, oh, well, I should be with this person. This is the person that's supposed to be right for me. In 30s, you get out of that. By 40, you just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
That is true.
I'm going to just be happy.
Yes.
This book came out in November of 2017, but you said you have a new one coming out this spring?
I have. It's the third book in a series. The series is called Blogger Girl.
Okay.
And the first book is Blogger Girl, and it's about a very popular book reviewer, mostly online, who is asked to review the debut novel of her high school nemesis, like the mean girl. So she struggles with, can I give her like a horrible review because I hate her and I have all these, you know, memories of her making my life miserable, or am I going to be professional? And along the way, she also discovers some dreams that she's blaming on Hannah that were the mean girl, when it's really her not seeing what she really wanted in life. So that was the first book in the series. And then there's another book, Novelista Girl, and then the third book, Bridal Girl, which I guess you can probably guess what Bridal Girl is about.
Right.
You know, she's planning a wedding and she's struggling with writing a book. And it's just this book was particularly fun for me because I like writing conflict. I like making it so uncomfortable for my character that by the time they get that happily ever after, which I always give them, they've earned it.
They've worked for it.
And poor Kim, I put her through such hell in this book, and it was so much fun to write because I know that she'll be happy at the end. But she doesn't know that as I'm writing. They're kind of real to me.
Yeah.
Like they talk to me, like I think about them a lot. So, and after writing 3 books with them, I feel like I really know them.
But isn't that a mark of a good writer? You know your characters. Your characters are like your friends.
Yeah.
Right? So the book is Boyfriend Swap, Meredith Schorr. And the next book is called
Bridal Girl.
Bridal Girl, which will be out in April.
April 24th.
April 24th, and we'll be looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll feature it on BookTrib then.
That would be awesome.